Major Jerome Spielman, IDF reservist and former international spokesman for the IDF. Major, thanks so much for being with us. Again, as I said to our correspondent, Shelby Wilder, very different conversation today than yesterday. I know that some families were eagerly anticipating, I believe, the release of 3 hostages that would have come this weekend. Do you think this ultimately goes through? And if so, when would those first hostages come home?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. You know, in order to answer that question, of course, we've all been waiting for these 3 hostages, followed by the 4 hostages, getting to 33 hostages, and then hopefully bringing home all the 98 hostages that are in Gaza right now in the most horrific conditions possible in the dungeons of Hamas. To answer your question, I think we really have to understand that this is not the West, this is the East. And in the East, negotiations are very different. This is not at all surprising, these delays. In the West, you have people that come to the table. President Trump, let's say he's going to buy a building. He negotiates, they come to terms, and then the details are worked out by their associates. In the Middle East, the devil is in the details, and Hamas is the devil. And so all of these minor situations, Hamas is constantly looking for sticking points. They're constantly changing what types of prisoners. We still don't know. And it's unbelievable. After all this time, what hostages are alive and what hostages are dead? It's the most basic information that Hamas has not been able to give us. And so clearing these details is not minor. It's actually major, and they're able to draw this out for as long as possible. On our hand, we're willing to move forward. We've been willing to move forward, as you know, since July. This deal essentially hasn't changed. 5 times since July, Hamas has backed out of this deal. And we're hoping that this time they're actually going to be able to move forward.
Major, we got about 20 seconds. I feel like once the hostages are returned and families, though, then find out their loved ones have passed away, murdered, they're going to want some type of justice in some way, shape, or form here. What do you think about that?
I think bottom line, both for those families, for the soldiers that have fallen, there's one answer to this when this is over. The absolute annihilation of Hamas. We know how to do it. We can do it, and eventually we will do it.
All right. And again, that we know is exactly what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said simply must happen from the outset after the horrible attack by Hamas. All right. Major Jerome Spielman, thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.
Okay, let's turn now to the national president of the Zionist Organization of America, Mor Klein, also with us.